Welcome back to Just Scribble. Today I'm going to share with you guys my 2026 wellness planner setup. I'm going to walk you through what I'm using, how I have it set up, and then we're going to be talking about the changes I'm going to be making for Q2 for my health and wellness planner setup. So I do have my health and wellness planner in this beautiful cover from Sojourner. It is a folio cover in standard traveler's notebook size, and this particular cover is adjusted to fit the full year in1 from Sterling Ink. So the full year standard size common planner from Sterling Ink. So if you are ordering on Sojourner's website and you have a full year common planner in the in1 or standard size or similar sized planner from another shop like the one I have here from the Faded Chronicle, and you're looking for a folio cover, you can have them adjust the size to the full year Sterling Ink common planner size to accommodate a chunky size planner in the standard traveler's notebook size. I did buy this from their ready to ship section, and if I can remember it, I will put the name of the leather right here just in case you guys are wanting to check it out. But this leather is absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful sort of brick red brown color. It's super smooth to the touch. It has a little bit of pull up. It's just absolutely beautiful. I did change out the elastics and add patterned elastic that I have from my stash, as you can see there, because I do prefer a patterned elastic on my covers, and I thought that this elastic in particular looked really pretty on this cover. I think that the bright blue and chocolate brown really pops against this cover, and then it kind of had a brick brown color that also matched. I just thought it was a perfect fit for this cover. On the front cover, I do have a card from Paper Echoes. This is from my 2025 Advent box. And then I also have a little clip with some little gemstones. This is also from that Advent box. And I used the goodies from the Advent box from the Paper Echoes Advent box to set up this planner. So when we open it up, I don't have anything over here. I don't have any cards in the card pockets, any deco or anything like that. I do have the little paper sleeve that came with this planner stuck here, just in case I wanted to refer back to it. And then I do have a little barb here that is on my elastic. I prefer my elastic to be barbed on my traveler notebooks and on my folios because it makes the elastic sit flat, and so you don't have a bump against your planner. I do have a tutorial on barbing elastic for your traveler's notebooks and folios, so I'll link that in the cards up above in case you want to check it out. And then this is the planner that I'm using currently for my wellness planner. This is the Chronicle planner from the Faded Chronicle. It's 2026 dated planner, and it's the all-in-one. It's a super chunky standard traveler's notebook size planner. I did share this in a video where I shared the planners I bought from other small businesses and discussed why I bought the different planners. I did some pen testing in the planners and things like that, so I will link that in the cards up above as well. But when I opened this planner, I immediately thought it would be a really great planner for a wellness planner. And then when I unboxed my Paper Echoes Advent box, I knew that it was absolutely perfect for this planner. And then the cover was perfect. Everything just went really well together. So I did use the Paper Echoes Advent for the setup of this planner, and we're going to flip through it. So on the front cover, I do have 3 stickers. This one right here with the panda bear did come from the Advent box. And then these 2 are from Amazon. This one says, "Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect." And this one says, "Stop worrying about things you cannot control." And then again, the panda says, "Do not disturb." When you open the planner, you have the end papers. I didn't do anything there. And then on that first page that's attached to the end papers, I did actually cover where it said the Chronicle planner. It kind of looked like this. I did cover that with stickers from the Advent box, and I decorated this with different stickers from that Advent box. And again, I'll have the Advent box unboxing linked in the description box and also tagged up above in case you want to check it out, so you can see all of the goodies and what you get when you get a Paper Echoes Advent box, because I really love her Advent boxes. But I absolutely love how this page turned out. I think it looks super cute. It's very welcoming. I just really, really love it. When you turn the page, you have your annual overview. All I did here was add a little bit of color. So there were some little washi strips or like long strips, and I cut them in half and used them to sort of border the years in the annual overview. And then I added a little bit of washi down at the bottom from that Advent box as well. Everything in here is from the Advent box, other than like deco I used in a weekly spread. But I'm not using this spread for anything. I just added a little color to it so that it would look cohesive with the rest of the planner. When you turn the page, you have 2 blank grid pages. I had intended to put my word of the year here and do a vision board. I just never got around to it, and so they are blank. Then when you turn the page, you go into the quarterly pages. I set them all up the same way. I put a little sticker up at the top next to the quarter, and then I put a piece of washi tape underneath the months of that quarter just for a little bit of sparkle because it's got some gold foiling and just for a little bit of deco. You can see that these pages are blank, and that's for two reasons. I did actually intend on filling out the left-hand page. This is actually where I was going to be putting my goals for my wellness for the first quarter and actually for each quarter. So each quarter I was going to put my goals on this left-hand page. And I kind of figured out the three categories that I wanted to use. So eating, so fueling my body, balancing food, enjoying food, nourishing, that kind of thing. So the three categories of wellness that I focus on are food, so nutrition, movement, activity, and then restore, so self-care. And so those three categories we're going to go here with my goals here, and then the three categories were going to be written in the circle, maybe with a little bitty sticker from my collection. And I was going to write a little bit about what I wanted to work on for myself in these three categories. However, I have not gotten around to it, so it is blank. But that is the intent of the spread, and I may go back and fill out Q1 even though it's almost the end of the first quarter, but that's what I plan to do with the left-hand side of each of these quarterly pages. The right-hand page is a Calendex, and a lot of people use these as habit trackers. And what I plan to do is at the end of the quarter, go back and graph my stats. So go back and graph my sleep and my steps and some other stats on these pages. A lot of the stats that I need to do this are on my Garmin watch or on my Oura ring. So they're in my phone in the apps. And so I have that information readily available, but I like to see it on paper. However, I don't like to go and do it every single day, partly because I'm really busy and I just don't always have time to do it daily. And I want to use the process of graphing those statistics and documenting a little bit about them, and kind of summarizing how my quarter went. I want to use that as a little bit of a self-care time for myself. And so I want to do it all in one swoop. So my intention is at the end of the quarter to fill these out to have a completed spread, but not to do them daily because I have that information here, and then also in some of the weekly pages as well. But that's how I plan to use the quarterly pages. So this is for goals, and this is for stats. The intention is to do this before the quarter starts and to do this after the quarter ends. When you turn the page, you have another Calendex page. It's a little bit of a different format, whereas this is 3 months per page. This is 6 months per page. This is where I'm actually going to put my weight, or that's the intent behind this spread for me, is to log my weight. I didn't add any deco to this. Initially, I was going to put a little bit of this washi at the top, but it looked really cluttered because there's not a lot of space up there. And so I decided that I didn't want to do that. So instead I decided I would just let it live the way that it is. And I would add my weight, which again, is also in apps on my phone because my scale does sync to my app. And so everything is on my phone, but I really like the process of writing it down and seeing it visually on paper. But I didn't want to do that before I shared my wellness setup because I don't want to share my weight on social media. So it's blank right now, but I will go back in and log January, February, March, and then I have the rest of the year here. When you turn the page, you go into your monthlies. This is a bundled planner, so you have the month and weeks of January, then the months and weeks of February, and days, I guess, actually, because there's daily-ish pages in there. Then you go to March, etc. Kind of live in these pages right here. First page of the monthly in the Faded Chronicle has a monthly overview page or monthly dashboard page, whatever you want to call it. And it has pre-numbered for the number of days in that month lines on it, and then a grid box down here. I had intended to use this for gratitude. I didn't actually do it in January. I did a little bit in February and a little bit in March. I was not consistent with completing this. As you can see, I didn't do January at all. January was a little bit crazy, but that was the intent behind this. I'm not really sure what else I would use this for because it's so predefined. I think using it for gratitude, like a line a day, kind of the only way I would use this in my wellness planner. But again, I was kind of inconsistent, but that was the goal. The goal was to use this for gratitude. This down here, I wasn't actually going to use for anything. I kind of liked the idea of a little bit of white space. And then at the bottom of each monthly, I did add these stickers. So they're little teddy bears with numbers. I'm going to skip February and March because I have some gratitude stuff marked there, but they all look the same. So I have these numbers, and these were actually the packaging numbers, like the stickers on the outside of my Advent box packages. So this was day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, etc. And I used the stickers from the Advent box packaging for each day to number each of those monthly pages. I just thought it was a really good use of something that came in the Advent box as packaging, but it would look really, really cute on the spread. And I actually really love how it turned out. So every month has one of these little guys on here indicating the month number. And then there were month stickers in the advent box as well. And so I put those at the top on each of those overview or dashboard pages. When you turn the page, you go into the monthly. So each of the monthlies looks the same. I use the same exact washi down the side. This one right here, the big one, is from the advent box, and the little one is actually from my stash, but I thought it matched really, really well. And combined, they pretty much filled up the sidebar. And so I thought it was a really cute way to add some deco to the sidebar. And then I used stickers from the advent box to decorate the monthlies. Let me skip ahead so you guys can kind of see. So I used stickers from the advent box, and I decorated each monthly with cute little stickers. And I think it turned out so good. I love it so much. I truly love how this setup turned out. Every time I look at it, it makes me happy. And then for the monthlies, I was doing sticker a day. So a sticker based on what happened that day or how I felt that day. I did write down any sort of self-care appointments that I had. So doctor's appointments, haircuts, esthetician, etc. in pink. And I wrote those down on the monthlies. So I would see when I had appointments and things like that. But I did sticker a day. And so this is January. This is February. And I am behind in March. I added a couple of them, but I haven't gone back and added the rest of them. But I think it looks super cute. It's a good way to use up some emoji stickers and just a nice visual of how your month went. And so I think it looks adorable, all filled out. So after the monthly, you go into the weeks of that month. And I'm going to go to a blank one so you guys can see. But your week looks like this. You have Monday through Sunday across the top. You have Monday through Sunday again down here. You have a little box here that says the week number. You have a habit tracker built in here. And then you have these 4 boxes. I think this is a really good wellness spread. I think that there's space here to do so many things. You could track your workouts across the top, or you could track stats across the top. You can track the food that you've eaten, or your mood, or your gratitude if you're not doing that over here. On the weekly here, you have a place for your habits. You actually have enough space here that you can graph things. So you could graph your sleep or your steps and also have room for your habits. And then you have space down here as well. I really think it's a great layout for a wellness spread. And then after your weekly, then you have 6 blank pages that you can use for dailies. And I'm going to show you one of my weeks. It's not fully filled out because I've been kind of inconsistent with this, but this is one of the ways that I had it set up. So over here was where I was tracking my food. Up here across the top, I was tracking my mood, my energy, my steps, and my score from my Aura ring. I didn't go back in and add my steps and my score, but again, it's in my phone, so I can go back and add that in. I made a little graph to track my sleep, but I didn't fill it out. Then I have my habits here. And then I have wins and grins and lows and woes here where I was keeping track of the positives and negatives of my week. And then on the daily pages or the grid pages, it was a little bit of a hodgepodge. My initial idea was to use those pages for notes for doctor's appointments, to write down things that I read or research about health and wellness, to write down recipes, inspiration, foods I want to try, things like that. And I did do that. I did add some recipes. I have to finish this one, but I added some recipes in here, another recipe over here. Over here I have a recipe, and then we were talking about putting in a garden, and so I was making notes about the garden, kind of what I was using those daily pages for. So I was using the weekly as a place to track my food and my habits and positives and negatives. Sometimes I would put a quote or some inspiration, things like that. And then the grid pages were for notes, recipes, things I wanted to check out, journaling, those types of things. I can't show you all of January through March because there's a lot of personal stuff because this is my wellness planner. But I did want to talk to you guys about how I was using this and how I had set it up. So I kind of already flipped through these, but I just pre-set up all of the months and I think they look so cute. And then at the beginning of the week, I would set up the weekly, so that it'd be ready for me with a little bit of deco for inspiration. And I did tab it with tabs from that advent box. And I think it looks so cute. and like absolutely perfect in this cover. So that's my wellness planner setup and how I was using the Faded Chronicle all-in-one standard traveler's notebook size planner, Chunky Monkey planner, for my wellness planner. I love this planner setup for wellness because I think it turned out beautiful. I love the way that I decorated it. I love the way that it's set up, and I love all of my intentions behind how I wanted to use each spread. I love the intentions I had for goals and for tracking and for gratitude and for sticker a day, just for a little bit of fun, and how I was going to use the weekly spreads and how I was going to use the daily or grid pages as well. However, it's not working out well for me for two main reasons. One is that this is really kind of big. It is really long and really chunky. It's just so much planner to be carrying around with me. I do work out of the home every single day, Monday through Friday. And so I take my wellness planner with me, and then I find that my wellness planner needs to be with me all the time. It needs to be in my purse with me so that when I'm at a restaurant and I'm making decisions for food, I can be thoughtful about that and I can log real time. When I go to a doctor's appointment, I want it with me so that I can take notes and also share information with them. And as much as I think that this setup is absolutely beautiful, and as much as I think this layout works really, really well for that, it's just too big for me for that purpose. I already have my personal planner, my everyday carry planner that I carry with me for all the things that I need to get done during the day. And then I also have my planner for Just Scribble, for my shop, and for YouTube and all of the things. I have to have that with me all the time so I can manage the shop and all the things that go with it. So it becomes a lot of things to carry. And this particular one, my wellness, I feel like needs to be on me all the time. It needs to be in my purse all the time. And this is just too big. I don't carry giant purses, and this is really heavy and chunky and just kind of a lot to carry around. So one of the reasons this isn't working out for me is because I'm not carrying it with me because it's just too big. So what's happening is I'm throwing it in my backpack when I pack on Sunday night for work, and I'm taking it to work with me, and I'm opening it up when I get to work, and I'm leaving it at work Monday through Friday. And then on Friday, I'm bringing it back home, tossing it in my bag. And so Monday through Friday, I'm kind of consistent in it. I kind of remember to log and to get into it and to use it. If I see a recipe, I'll grab it, I'll write it down, things like that. Then on the weekends, I'm not necessarily as consistent with it. So that's not working well because I need to be consistent with my health and wellness. I need to be putting my personal health and my personal wellness as a priority. And this planner is kind of taking a back seat to that. The other reason that it's not working is actually these grid pages. So as much as I thought these grid pages would be awesome for doctor's notes and for journaling and for recipes, etc., it's a lot every week, these 6 pages. And I find that I'm making up things to put in it just because I don't want the pages to be blank. I don't really need this much space necessarily for all of those things. And what I really need to be using it for is journaling, but because it's staying at my office, because it's so big, I'm not carrying it around with me all the time and remembering to bring it home every day, etc. I'm not journaling in it the way that I should. And so the amount of space in here is just too much, which is part of what makes it so chunky, which makes it a little bit less portable than maybe a standard traveler's notebook would be. It's too much planner for me for wellness at this point in my journey and at this point in my life with the number of things that I have going on. I do think that this is a really great spread for wellness, and I love the idea of it. It's just not working for me. Now, I do know that I could use digital for my wellness. I do know that I could use the apps that I have at my disposal, and I could just be 100% digital. I'm already on devices so much between the shop and work and just mom life and all of the things. I like to be analog as much as possible. So I don't want to be digital for my wellness all the time. I want to have an analog system. I also know that Tiffany, the creator of the Faded Chronicle, she does have smaller versions of this in her undated offerings. So she has a pocket and she has a week. They are 6-month books in the same basic setup as this. There's some slight difference. So I did think about trying those out for my wellness, and I might. I haven't 100% decided. The problem that I have with those is that although these pages are smaller, which would be great because I think it would be better for journaling and all the things, This spread is also really, really tiny, and everything seems very, very condensed and crunched. And I don't know if I have enough space to write all the things that I want to write down. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to use going forward. I have an idea, and you guys will learn about it soon in an upcoming video. So I have an idea that I think I'm going to try out, and so I'm going to test that, and I'm going to test her undated planner and see which one I like better. But I'm not going to get rid of this. There may be a point this year that I want to move back into this. I may find that on the weekend I want to go back to it and just update it with things from the week as a sort of relaxing sit in front of the TV and journal and play with stickers and all of the things. I think it would be really fun to have a completed book like this for my wellness for the year. It's just not working to keep real time, to update real time. So I'm not going to get rid of this, partly because I absolutely love it and I love the way that it's turned out, and I think it'll look really cool if it's filled out at the end of the day. But for me right now, this isn't working as my wellness planner. But I did want to share it with you guys because you may actually be okay with this size. Like, this may actually be what you need, or you may have seen this and you're wondering how you could use this for something, and maybe this would be a good wellness planner option for you as well. So I did want to share it. I did want to show you guys how I had set it up because I think, again, that it looks absolutely adorable. It's just so perfect between the stickers and the tabs and the cover and all the things. I think it is just, it gives me all of the feels. So I did want to share it with you guys, and then I did want to kind of give you guys a heads up that I was planning on changing my wellness planner, because in a future video, an upcoming video, you're going to see that, or what I'm planning to try out to see if it works better. But that's my video, my share of my wellness planner and how I had it set up and how I've been using it for the first quarter of 2026. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them down below, and I will definitely get back with you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.